Day 120, and my daughter just started fourth grade this week. And last week, she found out who her teacher was. Now, going into that event, there were three options for her in terms of teachers. One, she really wanted, another one, she really didn't want, and the other one, she didn't care either way. Now, if you've been through self help and following this stuff for a while, what teacher do you think that she got? Exactly. She got the teacher that she was indifferent about. She didn't care whether she got it or not. There was the least amount of resistance there, and that's who she got. Okay, so she wasn't ecstatic, she wasn't sad, but then she found out who was in her class, and there were three or four people that she really didn't want. There were also people who she really wanted. Some of her good friends were in that class, but she was having a meltdown because she was solely focused on the people that she didn't want in her class. And also the fact that she didn't get the teacher that she really wanted. And so she was talking to my wife. My wife was trying to calm her down. And, sometimes it takes a different voice. So I asked her to come up. I sat her down and I said, and I used this analogy. Now, this is an analogy that I got from Abraham Hicks, okay, when I was really into the law of attraction and applying the Hicks's teachings. And I asked her, I said, Peyton, I said, you've been to a buffet, right? We've been there a couple times. And I said, when you go up to the buffet to get your food, what do you do? And she said, I fill up my plate. And I said, okay, what foods do you put on your plate? You put foods on your plate that you like or that you don't like? And she said, I put foods on my plate that I like. And I said, okay. I said, but there are foods at the buffet when you're walking around, there are foods that you don't like, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, well, do you ask the people in the back, since you don't want those foods, you ask the people in the back to come out and take those foods away so that you don't have to look at those foods? And she said, no, I just put the foods that I want on my plate. And I said, well, Peyton, this is the same exact thing. There are always going to be foods at the buffet that you don't like, but as long as you don't put them on your plate, you don't have to worry about them. And I said, this is the same thing. We went through her class list and there were 9 people that she liked and 6 people that she really didn't care for. And I said, this is like putting food on your plate. If you focus on the 9 people that you like and just ignore the 6 people that you don't like, it'll be just like the buffet. You'll have a great time. Your belly will be full. You'll want to go to school and see all these people that you like. I said, but the opposite is true also. If you choose to focus on these 6 people that you don't like, that's like walking around the buffet and picking up all the foods that you don't like and putting them on your plate and then complaining about it. I said, so it's your choice. You have the buffet of food, you have the buffet of life. And so this is how you do it. And so I wanted to share that because she's 9 years old and she's in fourth grade, and this might seem like it doesn't apply to you, but how many times do you hear people, you might be one of them, complain about people that they work with that they don't particularly like? It's the same thing. I'm sure there are people that you like at your work. I'm sure there are people that they like at their work, but they focus on the foods that they don't want. And this happens more often than not. And so I wanted to go back to what Kate had said about asking questions. What's the good news here? This simulation is for you. If you focus on the things that you want, you get more good things that you want. If you focus on the things that you don't want and react and complain about all the negativity, you get more of that. You've had to notice this by now, that that's the way it is. All right. But it's not that simple. You can't just make a choice now to make a change. Okay. You're not going to change it through willpower, but you can make a choice now to start falling asleep in the wish fulfilled, and then your subconscious will do this for you. Okay. So I wanted to share that today. I hope it helped. And yeah, so the Lions Den, all 6 people checked in. Brent, Kate, I'm going to shout you all out. Brent, Kate, Shadow Flare, Thankful, Lee Hodges, and Nora. All 6 people falling asleep in the wish fulfilled, staying consistent, changing their lives. If you want to join the Lions Den, just post underneath. It's as simple as just saying, I'm falling asleep in the wish fulfilled tonight, or I fell asleep in the wish fulfilled last night. Check in. We hold you accountable here. We got a little community. We're all supporting each other because this works. Okay. And we all know it works and we're all seeing the changes. So come and join us. Sharing the love. All right. That's it for tonight, Friday night. Enjoy your Friday night. I'm going to enjoy mine. And I'll see you tomorrow, day 121. I love you all. Have a great night.